Hydroponics is where you grow plants in no soil. So it's a soilless plant growth system. It's essentially like growing plants on an IV tube. If you can imagine, living and existing whatever your whole life on an IV tube, this is what it is. And no country in the world will organic certify soilless plant systems, because the whole goal here is the soil, the soil biology, the soil community. And so the US is the only one who has been certifying organic certified hydroponics, soilless systems. If you're watching, for example, all these farms of the future, these vertical farms with LED lights and all that stuff in science science magazines and that sort of thing, that's what all this is. This is all tied into that completely Star Trek existence. Sorry, Sina, I just wanted to make sure everybody was with us on, because sometimes hydroponics, you say hydroponics, we all know what it means, but it's a pretty big word, and sometimes people don't understand what hydroponics is, and I didn't want to lose anybody in the discussion. So sorry, go ahead.
No, I think that's fantastic. And actually, and I don't want to belabor this point, this could be another conversation, but the Real Organic Project, who's kind of at the forefront of fighting this ability for hydroponics to be certified as organically grown, they would argue that even if the plant, for instance, is grown in some type of soil medium, if it's been given liquid nutrients, it's technically hydroponic. So there's even some debate as to what the definition actually is, but clearly if the plant has been grown without soil, then, our stance is that's hydroponic. So based on that definition, the Real Organic Project and others are putting pressure, or have been putting pressure on the government, that they need to change the definition of organic so that it excludes the hydroponics, or they need to at least exclude the hydroponic based on the current definition. And so what's happened is the USDA has said, we're not going to do that. We're not going to change our definition. It's fine the way it is. We think that hydroponics should be able to be certified as organic. So the Center for Food Safety filed a lawsuit against Tom Vilsack, the secretary of the USDA. And there was a court that sided with the USDA. So then there was an appeal. And on September 22nd of this year, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit sided again with the USDA. All right, so the question at hand that the court was trying to answer is, do hydroponically grown crops meet the requirements to be certified as organic? The Center for Food Safety argued that they wanted the USDA to issue new regulations that would prohibit organic certification of the hydroponically grown crops. And because of their refusal, it led to this case. And basically, the court decided that the USDA is not required to issue the requested rule. And let me tell you why. Joel, this will be par for the course for us. But basically what they are saying is that the USDA doesn't have to issue a new rule, because I'm reading this now from the court's document. The statute imposes, this is the organic statute, it imposes 3 requirements for organic crops: a restriction on synthetic chemicals, a prohibition on growing organic crops on land to which any prohibited substances have been applied, and a requirement that organic products be produced and handled in compliance with an organic plan. Now, if you look at the organic plan, which I have pulled up here, and we'll put all these links in the podcast description. So this is in the U.S. legal code. It's 7 U.S. Code 6513 organic plan. If you look in the organic plan here in this code, it says under soil fertility, an organic plan shall contain provisions designed to foster soil fertility, primarily through the management of the organic content of the soil, right? So the plan, the organic plan, has to be designed to foster soil fertility, okay? What they're saying, though, is that, well, if there is no soil, those farmers are not held to the same standard because there's no soil for them to tend to. So this is what it says. This is what the court case says. Because hydroponic operations do not use soil, hydroponic producers cannot comply with, the organic requirement. The crop production farm plans have to contain a provision designed to foster soil fertility. USDA's decision interpreted that provision to mean that if crops are grown in soil, their producers must take measures to preserve that soil's fertility and organic content. So now it's an if. It's not, part of organic is you have to actually build the soil or maintain the fertility of the soil. It's if you're using it, which that word is not in the official rule. The word if, it reminds me of what's the definition of is, right?
It smacks very closely of I didn't inhale.
Yes, this is crazy. So obviously, to me, this speaks, it reeks of the government and industry colluding together.
Hi, everybody. To watch the full episode of Beyond Labels, click on the subscription link located in the description box.